Hello everyone, and welcome back to Mrs. B History, your go-to channel for Grade 9 GCSE History Guides. In this video, we're tackling question 1 on paper 4, Superpower Relations and the Cold War. This is the Explain Two Consequences question. It's worth 8 marks, so that's 4 marks per consequence. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what the examiner wants, how to structure your answer, and how to hit level 2 on both consequences, which is what grade 9 students need to do. So firstly, let's start with what this exam question actually looks like in the exam. The question will say, explain two consequences of, and then it will name a topic. In the example we'll look at today, it says, explain two consequences of Gorbachev's new thinking. Now, before writing anything, first remember 3 things about the question. First, it's worth 8 marks, but crucially, those 8 marks are split. 4 marks for consequence 1 and 4 marks for consequence 2. The examiner marks each one separately. Secondly, you have about 12 minutes for this question. And third, this question is testing 2 assessment objectives. AO1, which is your knowledge, and AO2, which is your analysis. To get top marks, you need both. Now here's your first examiner warning. Your 2 consequences must be on different topics. If you write 2 responses about the same thing or aspects that are similar, the examiner can only credit one of them. That's a classic way to throw away 4 marks, so please don't do it. Right, so let's quickly look at the mark scheme because this is where grade 9 students gain their edge. Now there are 2 levels for each consequence. Level 1 will get you 1 to 2 marks. This is for simple or generalised comments, things like people had more freedom or the USSR got on better with the USA. That's a level 1. You'll get a mark or 2, but you're still leaving marks on the table. A level 2 will get you 3 to 4 marks, and this is what we're aiming for. To get level 2, you need 2 things working together. Firstly, you need to analyse. That means showing a clear cause and effects relationship. Why did it happen? What did it lead to? How does it connect to the topic in question? And secondly, you need specific information, dates, names, events. These precise details that show the examiner you actually know the periods. The top of level 2 is 4 marks per consequence, giving you 8 out of 8, and that is your grade 9 targets. So let's quickly go deeper into AO1 and AO2 because it's the difference that will separate grade 5 from grade 9 students. As already mentioned, AO1 is your knowledge, your dates, your names, your details. For example, knowing that Soviet Union troops withdrew from Afghanistan in 1988, or knowing that glasnost means openness and perestroika means restructuring. That's AO1 knowledge. Now, AO2 is your analysis. It's how you use that knowledge to explain a consequence using cause and effect. You're answering the question, what did this actually lead to and why? Here's the crucial rule the examiner report spells out. An answer with no analysis, no AO2, cannot be awarded more than a level 1, no matter how much you know. You could write 3 brilliant paragraphs full of knowledge, but if you haven't explained the consequence, you're capped at a level 1. So it's your job to bring together your knowledge, telling the examiner what happened, and analysis, telling them what it mattered and what it led to. So how do you actually write a level 2 answer? Well, firstly, you need your consequence statement. Start by naming your consequence clearly. Open with something like, one consequence of Gorbachev's new thinking was, and then state what it was. Don't make the examiner hunt for it. Step 2, add your specific knowledge. Immediately follow it with precise detail, a date, a named policy, a specific event. This is your AO1 evidence. For example, in 1988, Soviet troops were withdrawn from Afghanistan after 9 years of conflict. Step 3 is explaining the link. Now you're doing your AO2 work. Analyse the cause and effect. Use phrases like, there's a clear connection between, or this meant that, or as a consequence of this. This leads you to join the dots between new thinking and the outcome. And then step 4 is your consequence confirmed. Cement your answer with one final sentence that brings it back to the consequence. Don't drift, don't add new points, just confirm the consequence you set out to explain. 4 steps, 3 to 4 sentences, that's all you need for your top 4 marks. So let me show you this formula in action. Here's a real student answer awarded a higher level 2, which is 4 out of 4. The topic is the end of Soviet war in Afghanistan. Consequence statement. One consequence of Gorbachev's new thinking was the end of the Soviet war in Afghanistan in 1988. That's a clear, direct statement with a date that's already included. Then they added specific knowledge. Due to Gorbachev's wish to make communism better accepted and less aggressive, he chose to withdraw all soldiers from Afghanistan 9 years after the initial invasion. That's step 2. We have the reason, the action, and the time frame. AO1 is being demonstrated. Now for the analysis. There is a clear connection between new thinking and the end of aggressive conflicts between the Soviets and others, like the end of the Soviet-Afghan War. That's steps 3 and 4. The consequence is explained and confirmed. The examiner can clearly see the cause and effect chain. So what lifts this to a level 2? Well, it's the date of 1988, the named withdrawal, and the explicit statement of a cause and effect connection. Now let's look at consequence 2 from the same student who also gained a high level 2. This time the topic is glasnost and perestroika. The main ideas from Gorbachev's new thinking, glasnost, meaning openness, and perestroika, meaning restructuring, led to greater freedom of the press. This is a brilliant start. The student has named the key terms, given their meanings, showing specific knowledge, and stated the consequence straight away. The knowledge continues. Western media, including film and music, was allowed into the Soviet Union, making Soviet citizens more aware of the wider world. Again, that's correct detail. Specific examples. Now the analysis. This directly connects to glasnost and perestroika. The USSR became more open to the rest of the world, which was a direct consequence of Gorbachev's new thinking. There it is. The cause and effect is explicit. The consequence is confirmed. Notice that this consequence is completely different from the first one. One is about foreign policy, the Afghan war. The other is about domestic change, media freedom. 2 different topics, a full 8 marks. Now the question could ask about consequences of lots of different Cold War topics, not just new thinking. So let's give you 3 more level 2 consequences you should know during the rule of Gorbachev. First, you have the 1987 INF Treaty. New thinking led to a thaw in US-Soviet relations, and both superpowers signed the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty in 1987. This eliminated an entire class of nuclear missiles. That's a very specific, datable consequence. Second, the Sinatra Doctrine and Eastern Europe. New thinking replaced the Brezhnev Doctrine with what became known as the Sinatra Doctrine. Each Eastern European country could now go on its way. Soviet troops withdrew from satellite states and communist governments across Eastern Europe fell. Poland, Hungary, East Germany. This was massive. Third, the growth of reform movements. This one is slightly surprising. Gorbachev actually believed new thinking would strengthen Soviet communism, but the opposite happened. Glasnost and perestroika encouraged reform movements that rejected communism entirely. This is a great one to use because it shows real analytical thinking. It shows the examiner you understand that history doesn't always go to plan. Any 2 of these written with the 4-step formula will get you an 8 out of 8. So before we go to our end checklist, let's quickly share what the examiner's report specifically flagged as the most common mistakes. These are real patterns from real students. Mistake 1 was writing both consequences about the same topic. Mistake 2 was vague statements such as people had more freedom or the USSR got on better with the USA. These are only level 1 answers. They're not wrong, but they don't really have any specific knowledge or cause and effect chain. Mistake 3 was naming events without explaining them. His ideas led to the fall of the Berlin Wall, for example. Well, that's fine, but why? How? What's the connection? Without the analysis, it remains a level 1. Mistake 4 was confusing Gorbachev with other Soviet leaders. The examiner specifically noted that some students wrote about Gorbachev invading Hungary or causing the Cuban Missile Crisis. That was Khrushchev. Gorbachev came to power in 1985, so please make sure you get your leaders right. A mistake 5 was writing too much. The examiner tip says it's important not to waste time writing more than required to gain full marks. 3 to 4 sentences per consequence is enough. Stop when you've made the point and then move on. So here's your grade 9 checklist. Before you move on from question 1 in the exam, please check that you've done all of these. Firstly, have you identified 2 clearly different consequences? 2. Does each consequence start with a clear statement naming that consequence? 3. Have you included at least one specific piece of knowledge per consequence, either a date, a name, a named policy, or an event? 4. Have you explained the cause and effect chain? Have you actually analysed and not just described? 5. Have you used linking phrases, things like this meant that, or as a consequence of this, or there's a clear connection between? 6. Have you avoided confusing Gorbachev with Khrushchev or Brezhnev? 7. Are your 2 consequences genuinely different topics? And 8. Have you spent no more than about 12 minutes on this question? Remember, there are more questions in this paper. Please don't overinvest in question 1. If you can tick off every one of those, you're writing at the top of level 2 on both consequences, and that should get you an 8 out of 8. So quickly, just make sure you have the formula down to pat. Knowledge, analysis, using the 4-step formula. Consequence, add specific knowledge, explain the link, and confirm the consequence. And 2 different topics. If you found this useful, please give it a like. It genuinely helps other GCSE students to find these guides. Subscribe to Mrs. History if you haven't already. We're going to be looking at the other questions over the next couple of days, and I have a lot of content in the form of videos on how to get a grade 9, along with quick poems which give you grade 9 detail in 2 to 3 minutes. Good luck in your exams. You've got this.